Do you want to give the best callouts in Rainbow Six Siege? Well, you've come to the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to properly communicate with your teammates so that you can win yourself more rounds. Without wasting any more of your time, my name's Alka, and let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, I just want to say that this video was actually a viewer request from a comment. So if you comment videos that you want me to do, I will do them gladly. Someone commented, hey, can you do a video on how to better communicate with your team? That's what this video was. I had people asking for guides. I had people asking for like sensitivity conversions, shit like that. You can ask me shit. I have a small enough audience that I'll actually do videos for you, and it gets my engagement up, so feel free. So I brought you into a VOD of me and my team scrimming against another team on Cafe, and I think this is a great example of a good round of communication, and I'm going to show you why.
Cleared my throat with that shit, dude. Holy.
Oh, God.
You know? Flip. I'm gonna make that a soundboard too.
Someone does an unfunny ass joke.
So already, like, I don't know if you can tell just by the way we're communicating, but the vibes are really high. The scrim did just start, but I'm pretty sure we won a map before this because it's a best of 3 scrim. And, you know, we're making jokes, we're having fun, we're laughing. So that alone, if you're going into ranked games and you're already on your mic and you're giving positive vibes and you're like, you know, you're not just saying some dumb shit and making your teammates mad, that is going to help the flow of comms a lot, because when you're nice and you're not mean, people are a lot more inclined to get on their microphones and start speaking themselves and giving you more callouts. So just keeping up good vibes gets the flow of comms going. It makes comms more natural. It makes you play off of your teammates because you trust them more and you're just having a good time. So that's just tip number 1, is have good vibes. Don't be toxic.
He looked a little too suspicious right there.
That is the most. I have hatred every time I hear that audio.
I don't like boxes. 5 seconds and counting.
Man, that's just good for you. Nothing more to say. I got one.
I don't like blue.
That was me. Okay, comms. We're in a game now.
So that's something that, like, I said, because my team, once we get into that joking, vibey kind of mind state, we don't know when to stop joking and get serious. And, you know, it's cool during prep phase, but then once it's not prep phase, it's time to get into the round. We need people on cams, we need people on the default cams outside so we know where they're spawning and pushing from. So having somebody to kind of be like, okay, joking is cool, but we're done, we're in a round now, we need to focus, is definitely something that is good. That's more of like a I'm in a 5-stack kind of thing, but if you're just communicating and you're solo queuing in ranked, you're probably not going to have good enough vibes to actually have to slow it down in the first place, because people are kind of, you know, scared on the mic a little bit. So for just comp players, that's a really good tip.
What they gone 6? What they gone? Okay, that's white. That's bench window. They gone 6. He's on roof now. He's on roof.
So already, what we do is we have a support player, typically somebody that's sitting on site, not doing anything at the beginning of the round. They get on cams and they get on the default cams outside, and they're like, hey, they're pushing from here. And then we have people who are kind of lurking around that are on walls. Like me, I'm next to a wall. I'm able to hear things like them gone 6ing a window or them rappelling in. And then I give callouts on like what window they're pushing instead of just a general area. So that's kind of how the flow of comms go, is you get people on cams constantly calling out throughout the round all the way to like the mid round when they're actually doing things. But just always giving information and like receiving information is good. You never want dead silence ever. You don't want so much comms that you're overlaying and people can't hear the game, but you don't want too little comms to where you don't know where all of them are at all times. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. On defense, you want to know where they're pushing from at all times. On attack, you want drones and you want info on where you're pushing at all times. You never want to be walking in blind unless you don't have any drones. So just keep that in mind. Always have info. If you don't have info, you can say, hey, do we have any info? Ask for info. And if they say, no, we don't, say, can someone get on cams? I'm busy. Or I'm going to say, I'm going to get on cams. Somebody watch this angle for me. Always be seeking to get info, because at the end of the day, if you know where they are and they don't know where you are in such a high advantage because you can hold angles, because it's a first-person shooter game. So always be thinking about giving and receiving info at all times.
Droning on white. Okay, I'm just gonna hold white stairs.
Yeah, just open.
Red touch.
Yes, one bottom white now. Like cardboard area.
Constantly, call outs, constantly.
I
But we're not
prefer
overlapping each other.
Trying to play it.
It's still one at a time.
Yeah, I hear him mid white. I hear him mid white.
I got needed out.
With 3 ADS.
There's a drone on the long bar.
Needed him, not me.
This is John. John bathroom.
I think one might be ticket repel.
I see it.
No,
Ayana's almost down. Oh, she is down.
Still bench window. Bench window.
Down bottom red.
Heard. White window.
That's white.
Yeah, Zo.
You need me to fight it or not?
So something that I want to talk about is saying the word heard. So with callouts in Rainbow Six Siege, you want to keep them 1 to 2 syllables max because you want to be able to get the information out in the least amount of time possible so people can process the callout as fast as possible. So instead of saying all right or I got it or I heard you, the word heard, it tells the people that you understand and you heard what they're saying and you processed it, but it's only 1 syllable instead of saying multiple words. So that's just a really cool tip. We always say heard.
120 HP.
Okay, you need me to fight that or not?
No, no, no.
Ace getting taken.
Hold my bench window. Okay, white window dead.
Nice.
Always be asking if you can help as a support player and you're sitting on site not doing anything. He was like, hey, do you need me to hold white? Do you need me to fight that? And I'm saying, no, you don't need to. So now he knows to go do something else instead of watching a useless angle that he doesn't need to be watching. So again, just constantly giving comms. That's going to be the #1 lesson that I'm going to drill into your head today. Always, 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 always be giving comms constantly. Receiving comms doesn't matter. You don't want to do it, again, so people can't hear, but always needs to be comms.
They're trying to ace your shield.
Oh, I thought Crazy died. What? Oh, that was new. They're buck below. Buck below. Yeah, they're bucking below, but they don't know where you are.
They can't even hit me from below. Are they dumb?
Did they open red wall?
No, it's
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm hearing below me then.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a vert.
Heard. Might still be on the bench window. Watch out.
Yeah, I think they're bottom white right now.
Heard.
I got a sledge or something.
I give you a disc foss. Still one below.
So simple things like I'm giving you holes, play these holes, like my maestro did, or me saying I'm giving you a magnet, I'm giving you a disc, right? Things like that completely change how your teammates play, and that's a good thing. So if I'm saying I'm giving you a disc, he now doesn't need to run away whenever he hears someone grenading him. He can just still hold the angle and get a free kill once they try to peek him while they're nading. Right, so stuff like that, just giving a call out that you're giving somebody a magnet can give somebody a free kill. Saying, hey, I'm giving you head holes can give somebody a free kill because they're playing vertical, right? And it's giving him an angle to watch, but it's also making Foss not have to watch that angle so he can get on cams. So communicating to your team, I'm giving you this, or hey, you should do this to help me out, or hey, don't do this. It's not controlling, and if you think it's controlling, it's because you have a big ego. It's not controlling. Get over it. You're not the captain of this fucking boat. It's a team game. Just be aware that you can tell people to do certain things and guide people in a way that's not being bossy, if that makes sense.
Yep. On pink. Yeah, he's swinging heaven. Okay. He's not up.
Can I permission to play a little bit aggressive?
45, 4v3.
So, permission to play a little bit aggressive. Everybody immediately is like, no, dude. We're all like hesitating. We're like, I don't know. And then I say like, no, there's 45 seconds. It's a 4v3. They have to come to us. They're on attack. Just play passive, hold angles. If you don't know who's talking, it's my teammate Crazy. He's the Warden. The Warden is playing inside of coat check with his own shield, with his own ADSs, with a shotgun, with a castle barricade behind him so he can't get shot through windows. He has a great setup. And because he's on cafe, they have to go down the hatches. If they want to do anything, they have to come up red stairs. So him being there with a shotgun is extremely crucial. So knowing this, he's asking, can I leave? Can I play a little bit aggressive, right? Because he's our fragger. He just likes doing that. It's him. I understand that. We say no. And you need to be okay with that. As a teammate, you need to be okay with asking to do something. And they're like, nah, don't do that. If you're not okay with that, again, get your fucking ego in check. This is a team game. Anyways, we say no, and we win the round because of it.
Yo, white. Barbed wire white.
Right two. One, yeah.
So I'm saying barbed wire white. Someone's saying one's red. So now we know they're pushing upstairs and they're pinching now.
I have a pixel on my.
I hear barbed wire break.
I'm just gonna distract them. Okay.
On a clone.
Fake. It wasn't.
Yeah, you got there, I got there, I missed. Oh, what? That's actual Anna.
Yeah, Okay.
Jack's dead.
So that was a terrible call on my part. So I saw the Yana cloning, right? And then I saw her get off the clone. So I was trying to tell my teammate, like, hey, she's faking the clone. She's gonna run up. But I didn't want to have to say all that because he might die. Like I said, you're trying to keep callouts concise and short. So I just said fake, hoping he'd understand. What he thought I meant is it's just the clone. It's the fake Yana. It's the clone she's sending in her clone. So he tried to shoot the clone and he died because of it, because he only put one bullet into her, because you just need to shoot one bullet into a clone and it dies. So after this round, we bring attention to the situation and we fix it, which I'll point out later.
White window. Repelled.
Nice.
Last white window. Repel bench.
Yo, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
My teammate called out 10 seconds. It's a 4v1. I don't need to be peeking anything right now. Bad part on me. But I kind of just wanted to kill. Somebody saying, hey, there's 10 seconds. I now understand that means play passive. So if anybody's calling out time and they're like, hey, we have 30 seconds, you need to know what that means. If you're an attack and someone calls at the time, instead of them saying, hey, we need to push here and do this, them just saying the time is quicker. It's less syllables they have to say, right? Keeping callouts concise and short. So if you're on attack, you need to know that when somebody calls out the time, that means push. When you're on defense, if somebody calls at the time, that means stay where you're at. Seems like common sense, but just calling out time instead of calling out, hey, do this, is faster. So again, just keep callouts concise and as short as you can without being too
He's just
bossy.
playing for time. It's fine.
I call out he's just playing for time.
No, I jumped out. I thought it was bench window.
He was never actually bench window. Bad call on my part. He was always white window. So I fucked that up. But
Fuck. Never mind.
it happens.
Okay, that's my bad. I didn't hear you call it was the real one. I thought it was a clown.
Yeah, because I saw her turn off the clone last
He
second.
said fake. Like it was a bait.
Yeah.
I don't know what that gunner was
okay.
doing. She drops the hatch. And
So there's a misunderstanding right there that I was talking about.
I misinterpreted what you said. I thought you meant like it was a fake Iona, not he was faking it.
Yeah, I'll just say he's
I just say it's a real one. Lol.
yeah, I'll just say real one. Yeah, okay.
Real one, lol. Yeah.
Real Yana.
So after this, we discussed like what the actual words we're going to use for that call out is, but we got that cleared up. That won't ever happen again. Something with comms. If you're dying to a comm like he did, you need to improve it. Something that I talk about in every single video when I'm trying to help players improve, or I'm just talking about improvement in general, is you need to learn after every death. And that goes for even if you die to a teammate's call. So he died to my call. We immediately fixed the problem so that never happens again. Because the only way you get better in this game is by learning from every mistake that you make. That way there's no more mistakes you can make and you're just a perfect player. That's ideal. No one's ever going to be a perfect player, but that's how you get better in any video game at all. So that goes for comms too, right? I said, hey, from now on, we're going to say real if it's the actual Yana running up, and we're going to say fake if it's the clone. That way I don't say he's faking it and it's actually him running up, because that didn't make sense in his mind. And we got that immediately cleared up. So that's it for the VOD for at least that one round. I'm going to just run you through the 3 basic points that I'm going to drill into your head in this video. Point number 1, always be receiving and giving information at all times. You want it to be one person at a time, so that everybody's perceiving every call out, because if you have 3 people giving 3 different call outs at the exact same second, no one's going to understand shit. They might hear one call out, but then the 2 people behind them that aren't called out are going to kill him and they're going to die, right? So you want to be giving call outs all the time, but it needs to be one person at a time. So what you can do is you can set up a system of, hey, if this player has a call out, this player's call out is priority because they're in this position, whatever, doesn't matter. Or just get really good coordinated as a team and it won't be an issue. Easier said than done, obviously. I've been with this team for 4 months and we're just now starting to get comms into a flow, so it's not going to be as easy as that, but always receiving and giving information. It's that simple. Tip number 2, call out what you're doing and what you're holding. So if I know somebody calls out, hey, there's a guy white stairs, what I don't want is for everybody to immediately turn to white stairs, because then everything else is open, right? Obvious. So When someone said, hey, they're going up white stairs, anytime someone said that, when the barbed wire was broken, at the beginning of the round, in the middle of the round when someone got naded, I always called out, hey, I'm watching white stairs. Or when somebody called out white stairs and somebody was like, hey, can I help? I'm like, no, I'm already watching that. So they know not to do that anymore. So always be calling out what you're doing, what you're holding. If it's like a 2v2 situation, a 3v3 situation, you need to be coordinating, holding together and holding cross angles. So like, hey, I'm holding this, I need you to hold this and just play off of my contact. So if I get shot, if I die, you can immediately swing this angle and kill the guy. That's what that is. So be coordinating off of your teammates and communicating what you're doing and what you should be doing and what your teammates should be doing. That's tip number 2, coordinate with your team. Tip number 3, you can be a bit controlling, just don't be a dick. There's a very easy balance to find. Just don't be giving attitude. Don't be like, hey, do this now. Be like, hey, can you do this? Hey, I'm watching this. Can you do this? It'd be nice if you did this. And then the other person responds, or they just do it and you know that they did it. If not, then you go do it. It's as simple as that. They have no right to get mad at you if you're not being a dick about it and you're not constantly trying the IGL, unless you are the IGL. Then it's going to be good from there. There's going to be no complaints if you're nice about it and it's winning you rounds. People aren't going to question it and you're just going to go up. That's how that works. So you can control your teammates can control you. You need to not have an ego about it. You need to let the fact that some people are going to have ideas and some people are going to notice things that you're not going to notice. People are going to be better than you. People are going to know things that you're not going to know, and it's okay. Get over it. I know a lot of people, especially people who play entry, don't want to be bossed around because they like the freedom of running and gunning. That's not okay, and that's why you're hard stuck plat, bro. Sorry. Anyways, I went off on a rant, but you just need to be okay with being controlled, and you need to be okay with nicely controlling people. If you can do that, everybody will love you, everybody will be more willing to get on comms, and those first 2 tips will come easier. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Don't forget to sub to the channel. If you like the video, like it, and I'll see you in the next one.